Have you ever wondered what's really happening behind the scenes in the world of finance? We often hear about gold, stocks, and crypto, but there's another precious metal making some massive, silent moves. We're talking about silver, and something extraordinary is happening right now. A mysterious nation, a hidden player on the world stage, is quietly, almost secretly, buying up billions of dollars worth of silver. This isn't just a small purchase. It's a colossal move that could shake the very foundations of the global economy. Who is this mystery buyer? And more importantly, why are they hoarding so much silver? Stick with me, because we're about to dive deep into one of the biggest financial mysteries of our time. Let's start by looking at the numbers, because they are staggering. For months, analysts have noticed a strange pattern in the silver market. Huge, unexplained purchases are being made, draining physical silver from major exchanges like the London Bullion Market Association, or LBMA, and the COMEX in New York. We're not talking about a few thousand ounces here and there. We're talking about millions upon millions of ounces being taken off the market week after week. It's like a giant, invisible vacuum cleaner is sucking up the world's available silver. Normally, in a transparent market, we would know who is buying. Large institutions, banks, or even other countries usually disclose their major transactions. But not this time. The purchases are being made through a complex web of intermediaries and shell corporations, making it incredibly difficult to trace the final destination. It's a masterclass in financial stealth. This level of secrecy is unprecedented, and it's what has everyone, from seasoned traders to government analysts, scratching their heads and asking the same question. Who is behind this? The first major clue pointing to a nation-state is the sheer scale of the operation. The amount of capital required to sustain this level of purchasing is immense, running into the billions of dollars. This kind of financial firepower is typically only available to governments or central banks. An individual billionaire or a hedge fund, even a very large one, would struggle to acquire this much physical silver without their activities being immediately noticed and their identity exposed. The sustained, systematic nature of the buying campaign also suggests a long-term strategic plan, not just a short-term speculative bet. So, if it's a country, which one could it be? The usual suspects like the United States, China, and Russia are on everyone's list. Let's break it down. China has been known to accumulate strategic resources, and they have the motive and the means. They are actively trying to reduce their dependence on the US dollar and build up their own reserves of hard assets. Hoarding silver would fit perfectly into this strategy. Russia is another strong candidate. Facing heavy economic sanctions from the West, Russia is looking for ways to insulate its economy and create a financial system outside the control of the US and its allies. Silver, a universal store of value for millennia, would be an ideal asset for them to hold. But what if it's not one of the global superpowers? Some analysts are pointing towards a different group of nations, the BRICS countries. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, along with their new members, are actively working to create an alternative to the dollar-dominated financial system. There have been talks of a new BRICS currency potentially backed by a basket of commodities, including precious metals. If they were planning such a move, secretly accumulating vast amounts of silver beforehand would be a brilliant strategic play. It would give their new currency instant credibility and stability. There's also the possibility of a black horse candidate, a nation that no one is expecting. Think about a country with significant oil wealth, like Saudi Arabia or the UAE. They are actively trying to diversify their economies away from oil, and investing heavily in tangible assets like silver would be a logical step. They have the cash, they have the motivation to secure their financial future in a post-oil world. The secrecy would be paramount to prevent other countries from catching on and driving up the price before they've completed their accumulation. Now, let's move on to the why. Why silver specifically? Why not just gold? Gold is the undisputed king of precious metals, the ultimate safe haven asset. But silver has some unique properties that make it incredibly attractive right now. First, it's often called poor man's gold. It's much more affordable than gold, which means a country can acquire a much larger physical quantity for the same amount of money. This is important if you're trying to build a massive reserve. But the real story with silver is its dual nature. It's not just a monetary metal, it's also a critical industrial metal. Silver has the highest electrical and thermal conductivity of any element. This makes it absolutely essential for a huge range of modern technologies. Your smartphone, your laptop, solar panels, electric vehicles, 5G networks, they all need silver, and not just a little bit. The demand from the industrial sector is exploding, especially with the global push towards green energy and electrification. Solar panels and electric cars, two of the fastest growing industries in the world, are incredibly silver intensive. This is where it gets really interesting. The world is consuming silver for industrial purposes at a record pace. At the same time, silver mining output has been relatively flat, and in some years, it has even declined. For the past few years, we've been in a situation of a structural supply deficit, meaning we are consuming more silver than we are mining. This deficit has been filled by drawing down existing above-ground stockpiles. But those stockpiles are not infinite. At some point, they will run out. So, imagine you're the leader of a country looking 10 or 20 years into the future. You see this unstoppable trend, rising industrial demand and a limited supply. You realize that silver is not just a form of money. It's a strategic choke point for the future of technology. If you could control a significant portion of the world's silver supply, you would hold immense power. You could influence global industry, secure your own country's technological future, and potentially disrupt the economies of your rivals. Suddenly, a secret multi-billion-dollar buying spree doesn't just seem logical, it seems like a geopolitical masterstroke. This mystery nation could be playing a long game. They are buying up the physical metal now, while it's still relatively cheap and available. They are draining the exchanges, quietly taking possession of the real, tangible asset. By doing this, they are creating a situation where the paper market, the futures and options traded on exchanges, becomes increasingly disconnected from the reality of the physical supply. We're already seeing signs of this. The premiums for physical silver coins and bars are often significantly higher than the spot price quoted on the news. This tells you that the physical metal is becoming scarce. What happens when the music stops? What happens when an industrial giant, say a major solar panel manufacturer, goes to the exchange to take delivery of the silver they need and finds that the vaults are empty? That's when the real fireworks begin. The price of silver could explode overnight, not by 10 or 20%, but potentially by multiples of its current value. The paper contracts would be rendered worthless, and the only thing that would matter is who holds the physical metal. If a single nation, or a bloc of allied nations, holds a dominant position in the physical silver market when this happens, they will be in an unbelievably powerful position. They could dictate the price. They could decide which countries and which industries get access to this critical resource. It would be a new form of economic warfare, waged not with armies, but with control over a vital commodity. So what does this all mean for you, the average person, the investor, the saver? It means you need to pay attention. The silent run on silver is a massive signal that something is shifting in the global financial system. The smart money, the real deep-pocketed players, are moving out of paper assets and into hard, tangible assets. They are preparing for a future that might look very different from the present. This isn't about fear or predicting doomsday. It's about understanding the chessboard and the moves that are being made. The accumulation of silver by a mysterious, powerful entity is one of the most significant moves we've seen in decades. It's a sign that the confidence in the current dollar-based system is waning, and that major players are hedging their bets in a big way. The identity of the buyer remains a secret for now, but their actions speak louder than words. They are telling us that physical silver is critically undervalued and strategically important for the future. Whether it's China, Russia, the BRICS bloc, or dark horse candidate, one thing is clear. The race to secure the world's remaining silver has begun. And the outcome of this race could reshape our world in ways we are only just beginning to imagine. Keep your eyes on this story. It's far from over. Thanks for watching today. If you found this deep dive fascinating, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content that uncovers what's really going on in the world of finance. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Who do you think the mystery silver buyer is? Let's discuss. Until next time.